Straight line the babies. They've come out together actually with Vintage Lass with the inside running there, holding out the stablemate Steader Gem. Steader Gem just looking for that spot behind the leader, and there'll be enough room. The trotter settled well enough, the pole marker, Rising Muscle, and last of the four from the wide draw, Majestic Grace. So up in front, showing the way clear. Vintage Lass, as I said, had the advantage of the pole, the insider barrier over the stablemate, and had held it there with Steader Gem on its back. They're already about 12 metres clear from Rising Muscle and Majestic Grace, just improving around the outside. They're looking for that little spot there. They're up in third spot there, and Mick will work that onto the pegs there. So they're all on the pegs at this stage. They'll come down, and of course they'll get the bell this time over the short trip of 16.90, just a lap and 3/4, and up in front and rolling along nicely, Vintage Lass. Did everything right out of the gate there and shows the way clear. Heard the bell, didn't even blink. Just been round before, and inclined to slacken off a little bit and given a tap there by Ian. So up in front it is Vintage Lass showing the way clear from Steader Gem. Clear third there at the moment is Majestic Grace, and last of the four, Rising Muscle, but done everything right as they put the 800 metre peg behind them in an even run race here with the 2-year-olds up in front, being the Lamplighters, Vintage Lass from Steader Gem. As I said, Vintage Lass, the Village Jolt horse, and Steader Gem, the stablemate, a modern art youngster there. They got a handy break there over the trotters with Rising, with the Majestic Grace in third spot, and Rising Muscle last of all there, probably another 20 metres away there off Majestic Grace. They head down towards the 400 here, and they've been rolling along all right, and given an inch of rain here up in front. There's bragging rights here for the wards. As on the inside, Vintage Lass for Ian leads. Steader Gem strides up on the outside, and they're going to come round the corner locked together there, and they've sprinted up there trying to hang on to their backs, Majestic Grace. They've outsprinted the other trotter, Rising Muscle, in the straight here. The outside, Steader Gem might have a bit of an advantage. Has a little bit of a wobble on the straight there, but doing a little bit the better, trying to rally on the inside, Vintage Lass. They've worked together at home, and they'll come down to the line together, but on the outside, Steader Gem just a little bit too good, maybe a metre on the line there to Vintage Lass. Running on nicely, only about 8 metres away was Majestic Grace, and doing everything right.